It says I'm live. I'm going to quickly check on YouTube. I apologize for keeping everyone waiting, but if you have ever been to a Broadway show, they normally start 8 to 10 minutes late. So I'm 9 minutes late, which means I'm perfect for Broadway in this one aspect. How is everyone? Family friend was just hanging my copy of the Writer's Manifesto. So it's between my desk and my couch so that people can read it without getting all up in my space if they're visiting. And then also I don't know if you guys have seen these posters that are scratch off, but for book covers that you've read. So I have 100 epic reads for young adults. I could have done the one for normal adults because I've also read a lot on there too, but I like the titles in general from the young adult one better. So I have that, and he hung that up over my dining room table over there. So I just didn't want to go live when he was, talking to me about is this the right height? And he actually didn't do a lot of hammering because he's that good, but I was just yeah, probably should wait. So thank you all for waiting for me. What are people working on tonight? Sorry, I just realized that I don't have my microphone plugged in, so I might sound better in just a moment. Okay, I don't know if I sound better, but my microphone is now plugged in. So Regina's working on her horror novel. Awesome. I never know how to pronounce your first name or anyone else who shares your first name. And I'm so sorry. Brainstorming and re-outlining, and it's a rough time. Personally, in which case you don't have to share, or you're just feeling a little bit blocked or having some difficulty. Vaughn. Okay. Thank you. So sorry. I do like pronouncing people's names correctly, but sometimes it's hard where it's oh, this is how you pronounce it. And then I'm looking at the text and I'm this still doesn't help me. So thank you, Vaughn. But I hope that these sprints will help you with the brainstorming and re-outlining. I did a video on this channel where I was mind mapping the Kingpin killers, which I actually had to go back and completely outline because I wanted to add some chapters before what I had written, which changes what I had written and then things that come after it. It's going to be my nano project. November nano project, because this camp and probably July camp, because my pace is very slow on this, revising with my day job now, is revising last official Nano's novel. But yeah, sometimes just writing down different options, even if you feel you know which one you're going to go for, can help, because that's what I did, and that helped me figure out what I was doing with the end of the novel before I was then, oh, I want to change the beginning or whatever. So I am part of the Writish podcast with fellow AuthorTuber Kelly Wright, and we just released an episode today about, oh my God, sorry, my brain is a little bit fried from work because I work 10-hour days. Architects and gardeners, there we go. And it's a little bit different from plotter, plantser, and pantser. And we talk about how they, to different degrees, have structure versus like how organic is stuff. And I think maybe, and I could be totally wrong, and you can tell me to shove it if you would like. But maybe you're trying too hard to connect the points together, and maybe you just need to think about like pick the starting point for whichever 2 points you're trying to connect, and then be like, okay, if this happens, then what naturally happens, and does that change the next point? And if it does, do you need to add a point in between that bridges it, or can you like finagle it so it works, or do you need to revise the subsequent point? The link to the episode that just dropped is I'm typing it out. In the meantime, I am going to the forest room code. I rearranged the apps on my phone, and it always takes me a second to find it now. So okay, let's do all the different cakes, slices of cake for this. So I was trying to decide on a theme when it's just me and I don't have co-hosts picking the trees. I'm like, trees, because obviously they're not all trees in the forest app, but yeah. So I keep saying so. Clearly that's one of my crutch words. I don't use it that much in the podcast though, when I'm editing it, which is nice. 5 Tango, 4 Zulu, 6 Niner. There's a dirty joke in there that I'm not going to make. 4 Sierra Golf. And it will be up on screen. I'm glad that helped, Yvonne. And Deja or Daja, which one is it? But hello. If you are new here and have never done the Forest Room app with me, if you have the paid version, and this is not sponsored, you can turn on Plant Together mode by clicking the icons at the top of the screen, and it opens a menu. And you want to turn off Deep Focus mode, because otherwise it'll kill the tree for everyone. And you want to turn on Plant Together. And then at the bottom of the screen, it will say, join room or create room, and you click join room, and then you enter the code. Don't touch your phone during the time that the tree is planting. And then when it's done, you click the top left corner. There's an arrow to get out of that room so that you can enter the next one. Deja, cool. Hi. Deja, what are you going to be working on during this stream? First, what you think. Obviously, we can all get distracted. I'm going to be finishing editing the final Ridish podcast episode for season 2 that goes up next week, because I'm really close to finishing it. I wanted to finish it during my lunch hour at work, but my laptop has decided that the headphone port no longer works. So I'm getting that fixed on I'm bringing it in on Saturday, and I'm really hoping it doesn't mess up the fact that I have a stream on Sunday. Yeah, so I'll be editing the podcast, and then I will be revising chapter 8 of my 46 chapter book. Sci-fi romance. Woo! I wrote a sci-fi romance trilogy. I really like the genre. I don't have any plans to return to that, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see someone else writing in it. Yeah, so outlining. Vaughn is also outlining. Regina is done with her outline and is drafting at this point, and I will be revising. So we're all at different stages, which is very cool. I'm going to do this, and we're going to... And once it hits the 20-minute mark, we are going to start our first sprint. So I guess we're just twiddling our thumbs for a little bit. Yay. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. I finished editing the final episode of season 2 of Rightish. So that's exciting. It goes live next week. It's here. If anyone's interested, it's also linked down in the description of all of my videos. Natalie came in. Barrett, hi. Deja, I hope your dinner was good. You may still be eating it. I hope it's delicious. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I think I ate lunch at like 12:30, maybe. So I should eat. I'll probably do that during next sprint to give me a break between finishing editing the podcast and jumping into novel revision mode. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I hope everyone did some form of productivity, even if that's, self-care where they took a break, they drank some water. Everyone should be drinking water. Stood up if they've been basically chained to a desk for 10 hours like me. I do get up, and I have been drinking water regularly, which means I get up quite often. And part of me misses the days when I was constantly dehydrated so I could just work, but that wasn't healthy. So yeah, people should stretch, people should hydrate, which reminds me, I have a banner for this, which I normally don't use when it's just me. But don't forget to hydrate, stretch, and back up your work. And in the episode I was just editing, we do talk about how you should be backing up your work all the time. So Deja finished the food before the sprint ended. That's awesome. What did you eat? Because I'm nosy like that. Nick, hello. Little late. That's fine. I started 9 minutes late because I was having my final 2 framed pieces hung up in my apartment. So now my apartment is totally done. It's been months, but it's done. And we have at least, I think, 3 more sprints, depending on how chatty I am and whether or not I have co-hosts. Regina got 400 words. That's awesome. I hope for my other people because there are 7 people watching, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people have commented, so I think someone is lurking. But Vaughn, I hope your outlining went well. Maybe not forcing it as much. Barrett, yes, my home is all set. Very happy. I've been very happy before, but it's nice to not look and see these 2 things on the floor, just waiting to be hung up. I would have hung them myself, but I'm not tall enough, even if I stand on something. So, thank you. Whenever you have to leave, go for it. But thank you for being here. That sounds really yummy. I have shepherd's pie for tonight, so I'm going to eat that. Ooh, another outliner. Because Deja is outlining tonight, aside from dinner, and so is Vaughn. So, working on a project in Rise, there needs to be a book before it. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. I was saying earlier that what's going to be my November Nano project this year, I had started writing it, and I mind mapped the end of it because I needed to figure out where it was going. And then I got halfway through the story, and I was like, oh, I need to put something before within the same book, not a whole different book. But I had to put stuff before, which changed what I had. So I had to completely re-outline it. And I did that in the past 2 months, I think. So I swapped between this project, the one that I'm going to be doing after I eat dinner, the one that I re-outlined, and now I'm back doing, yeah. So I'm just flip-flopping between these 2 projects, but I'm trying to finish my current one before July. but we'll see. Because now I'm wondering if I need to do like 2 rounds of revision on this story. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to set the forest room code. And I chatted so much that we did not get to start at the 50-minute mark, but c'est la vie. Okay, the code for this sprint is 67 Echo Whiskey 4 Quebec Sierra Golf. Thank you, Nick. Interesting. Cool, Deja. Whatever works for you, or try it and then find out whether or not it works for you. I used to edit as I went, and I have learned that that does not work for me. Oof. Good luck with that, Regina. We are going to start our sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. Hey.
It took me 8 minutes to figure out my setup because I was trying to connect my camera that I normally use for filming as a PC camera.
Yeah.
And StreamYard was like, no, I don't recognize it. I was like, fine, all right. So I had to move my work laptop off the stand, put the personal one here, but it works okay. I still got my setup. It's not like I was going to do anything too crazy anyways.
You look good. You sound good.
Yeah.
That's what I need from my co-hosts.
That's it. Even if it's just the having the avatar going like this, as long as the avatar is something other than the letters of the initials of my name, I'm good.
You're happy.
Yeah. Listen,
You're
the
like,
bar is
success.
here. The bar is here, okay? Like that way I'm either pleasantly surprised or I am boosting my morale because I was right.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not like some people in the world who the bar is on the ground, and you know what they do? They grab a shovel and they dig 6 feet down.
Yeah. So so I know you got the latest episode of the Writers Podcast edited on the last run. How did you do this one?
I did nothing. I did not eat dinner. Like I said,
that's self-care.
I just did nothing. But you know what? After hearing about a shooting and a bomb scare this morning, you know what? I'm gonna just be like, didn't do anything. I still got a lot done today. There are more sprints.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not what I wanted to get done in that sprint, but I've accepted it.
Nothing is probably what you needed. It was like a recovery time of like a recalibration, kind of like how a scale has to have nothing on it to recalibrate and get adjusted. So you were scaling.
Yeah, I don't think I can remember the last time that like I've actually done nothing. Because like if I'm like not working, so if I'm not doing work in which I get paid, if I'm not doing podcasts, writing, revising, whatever for my novels, I'm like watching something or playing something on my phone, and I just didn't do any of that, and I feel weirdly like refreshed.
Yes.
And I'm just like, damn.
So all day today, I've been like personally attacked by the internet, and I posted 2 of them on my story, 2 TikToks on my story. But there was another TikTok that really resonated with me, and it was the person saying that they need to realize productivity doesn't equal worth. And I was like, that's it. Because like even family movie nights, I'm like, I got to get on my phone and make Instagram posts that will be posted later or something. Like I have to do something. I've always said I don't do well idle. And it made me realize I really need to be okay with like just watching something. So I've started watching Get Organized with my daughter. Her and I love watching that. But then we also talk during the whole time too, so it's fine. But I'm away from my phone and stuff like that. The other stuff I saw was what was the line of every corpse that's on Mount Everest was a once highly motivated person. I'm like, ouch.
That's ow.
Oh, and then it followed it up with, so chill out. And I was like, okay, I feel attacked.
I mean, it's true though.
Yeah. And then the other one that I posted on my Instagram story was like 5 signs of you're highly anxious. And just every single one of them.
I was like, I don't think I need to know that list to be like, I'm at least 90% of what.
Yeah, because it's an Instagram reel, and Jessica Williamson posted it first on her channel, and I heard 1, 2, 3 based on the time allotted in the story. So I jumped over, watched the full reel, and I was like, I gotta share this.
Yeah, I mean, I have ADHD, and so I think that's also like I don't do well with silence normally. Like I have to be on the verge of getting a migraine for me to be like, okay, I'm not gonna have like background noise.
Yeah.
And like I just did nothing, and it's like It's weird because I don't know if I can make myself recreate it again. Because like forced relaxation sucks.
Yeah.
But it's like when
it's like you stumbled upon it, and now
yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's like, can I,
can I recreate this?
bottle lightning this magic again? And I'm like,
yeah, because I'm not one. I don't like to schedule downtime because yes, I do need to. I like to look at it as a checklist of things I need to do, not a timetable of things I need to do. Where it can be sequential, but I don't need a quantity to it. I'm the same way. Because sometimes like my productivity, like, and I've done it multiple times where my productivity exceeds past the sprint and I'm like, I'm going to keep going. And Sarah and them are talking. I'm going to keep going. I'm in chat. It's fine. I'm not on.
Well, I'm being so bad. I'm scheduling the episode right now because I didn't do it. Like I finished editing it at the end of the last sprint and then I'm doing it now. And yeah.
Well, right behind this window.
That's my dishwasher being done. I was like, I wasn't heating anything in the microwave. That was like one of the things I didn't do. Yeah. Okay.
Right behind this window is me needing to finish writing the description for my next video that's going to air tomorrow. Because I've uploaded it to YouTube. I just haven't finished writing about it and like writing the description, putting the chapters in. So that's what I plan to do the next
You'll be good. But speaking of, I made like YouTube videos. This is what my ADHD brain like was like, oh, I'm going to say this and then forgot. Now we're back to it. I made a video called, or I don't remember why I titled it because in my head I like called it 3 different things. But basically the gist of it is you are not what you do. Like your self-worth is not based on the work that you produce,
your output.
And I always say like happy productivity on my streams because like I don't want to be like happy writing because not everyone's like writing during these sprints. Like sometimes, you could even just be like, oh, I'm revising or I'm outlining, but it's like also like
reading.
I would be like, I'm doing homework. So like I might be writing, but I don't count that
research,
as
any of these.
You could be doing a million things, but I'm always like, because Regina, like her first sprint normally, although on Sunday she surprised me and she already had her coffee by the time the first sprint rolled around. And it's like, she'll be like, oh, I'm getting coffee. And I'm like, that's productivity. Like whatever you're doing, that's productivity. Also, thank you. It was not, so I don't know how great everyone's geography is. My geography is like pretty sucky outside of New York. So, and, aside from like knowing where Nevada, California, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Maine, and, like that's a bit about it in the United States. And then if you get international, it's like, oof, education failed there. Anyway, Manhattan is a borough, but New York City is 5 different boroughs, and they are connected by 21 different bridges, which I learned, which is cool. And anyway, when people say New York City, if you're not from New York City and you say it, you probably are thinking of Manhattan because that's where Times Square is and like all the touristy stuff is, aside from the Statue of Liberty. But this happened in Brooklyn, but it happened very close to where my boss lives, which like really freaked him out, which, it was very upsetting. No one I know was hurt by it, but it was like, I think my brain.
It was close.
That. Yeah. It was like way too close to home. So, and it actually came on the heels of my coworker. She had seen a Broadway show on Sunday night, and they get out of the theater and there's this explosion and everyone thinks it's a bomb and they start running and screaming. And it turns out, no, just an exploding manhole cover in the middle of Times Square, but like terrifying.
Yeah.
So it's like, we just can't catch a break here this week. And I would really like tomorrow to be chill, universe. I'm putting it out. Please be chill.
It's really interesting that where you talk about close, and I swear I'm not trying to like twist the story back to me or anything, but this is exactly what I wrote about, where The story that I wrote, that will air in this video tomorrow, my favorite line, which I'll post tomorrow, so you get a teaser, is the favorite line was, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. But when the main character, I'm trying to remember the exact line, but pretty much when the main character thought of losing her kids or her kids losing their mom, close felt like a grenade going off in her chest in that moment. And so it was that tie-in of like, yeah, we got this cliche, but honestly, close is too close sometimes. Like, it's just because it was close and it didn't happen, but the thing is, it could have. Okay, the anxiety that brings, the fight or flight in that moment.
I mean, as someone with PTSD, like, you don't need to tell me about.
We've had a multitude of conversations on this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to go into your side of stuff because that's your story to tell as much as, or as little as you want. But like, too close for comfort for me can be like, what are you talking about? That's like a mile away for someone else. And it's like.
My tree has grown from like 2 days ago when I did a room with you, apparently. I only
if you like don't go back into the app, it'll be like it grew, and you're like, yeah, this was a while ago. Thanks.
I only open it in your streams, no other time.
I feel so special.
I did open it like a while back where I was like, I'm gonna give myself some time, but that was like right when they were crossing over into the capping at 100 or an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
For the focus.
You can change it to be 180, by the way. There's a setting.
But
you can't go beyond that.
Yeah, which kind of sucks that there's a cap, because I was like, man, Zara had a smart idea of like setting this to go to sleep. Like, hey, I am not touching my phone.
I do the 3 hours, and then I'm like, doesn't matter how little I want to sleep or how hard I'm having a time falling asleep. By the end of 3 hours, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, perfect. I'm in. Well, and then here's the other thing. So I've got to finish that video for getting it ready so it's completely uploaded, which is probably uploaded by now because I haven't touched the description since like before putting my son to bed. But after that's done, I'm pushing. It's not a push. It's like, okay, you have time to read now. And I got to read Crow's book. I am like, I'm not just saying that just because we know her and she could be in chat. It's good. Like it took until chapter 2 for me to get into it, and now I'm like, what's happening next? What's happening?
What's it about?
Stanford Art. It is a male-to-male romance.
So like I mean I know what she's said,
okay.
But it's like I don't know.
All right, then let me spin it this way.
Part of me is like, has my brain just erased everything?
Two guys run into each other when one of them is an art student, the other one needs extra cash and poses for the art student.
I knew one was an art student, and I think everything.
And the other one needs extra cash, but they're both in law school. The art student, who's also in law school, doesn't want to go to law, but the parents are pushing it. And the other one, the parents wanted him, and I'm not ruining too much because it's early in the book. But the other one, who's actually posing to make ends meet, is even though he had a full ride to Stanford, his parents wanted him to join the military and carry on the legacy. So they practically cut him off. So he's on his own. So he's got a full ride school-wise, but he's still got all these other bills to make ends meet. So they
like cut him off because he didn't join the military.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I gather. I could be misrepresenting, but right now it works in the headcanon and the way the story's flowing. So, but that's like that brings you up to about chapter 7. Roughly.
Okay. Interesting. It's like I need to read yours and I need to read Crow's, and I'm just like, what time?
Yeah, on top of the stuff that you read for your job, where but there's a difference between you're forced to read these stories because you're supposed to vet them before they go to your boss, and then there's the stories you want to read, and then there's the regular stories you want to reread.
I mean, like, that's all true, but like, honestly, I'm like, I don't know if I have energy for any reading when by the time I get home, I'm like, lucky if I do anything creative for myself. And I've
The
been
thing
like forcing myself like for an hour, no matter what, I do something. But it's like,
Yeah. The thing that helped me was Audible. So or any audiobook, and which sucks because not everyone is on Audible, but I use that time, like my shower time, that's perfect listening time. Like anything where I can't physically hold a book, but maybe I can listen, I use that time. And so anytime I've worked out, I'm listening. And actually, that's also a time where I try to catch up on people's YouTube videos too, because they comment on mine, and I'm like, I swear I watch yours. I get wrapped up.
I have fallen so behind on the people I follow on AuthorTube. Is not even funny. I'm like, oh my god.
I swear I support every single one of you. I just can like your IG posts better and faster than I can watch your videos. I swear. And I will read your books, and I have my TBR in just Kindle. Anytime any of my friends have a 99-cent sale or completely free, I get it.
Oof.
Like any of it. So I have tons.
I don't want to talk
20
about my TBR.
but that's just in my Kindle. And then physically, that's even another 20. And that's not me supporting my friends at all. That's just books I've had on my shelf for years.
I have an entire shelf here of books that I haven't read. And that's because I only brought books that like I've read and loved, and books that I was like, I need to read these. And you know what I've done? Have not read them.
But they have their own shelf, and they stare at you mockingly every day.
That's why my back is to them, so that I don't like.
So just don't do this. Because then they'll be like, read us.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to start.
Yes, we are.
In 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone.
Or nothingness.
The sprint is ending at the top of the hour. We have more sprints ahead of us. How did you do?
Got through the chapters. And I also did a thumbnail for Canva, which was fun because I took all these screenshots from the video of where like my hands are in the shot like this. And I put them all on the thumbnail and I wrote in the corner, "Hi, I'm Natalie. I talk with my hands."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. When I make fun of myself in like a fun way. I mean, that's kind of making fun. Whatever. I do self-detrimental, but not to the point where I'm like talking down to. Thank you. Not where I'm talking down to myself though, but I had fun with that. I kind of like the whole reason why at the beginning of all my videos are just like all the outtakes without cussing, because I try to keep that under control. Just in case.
Yeah.
My nieces and my daughter might stumble onto it. I don't want them to go, "Well, you cuss all the time." Yeah, so does your mother.
It's like when you're an adult, you can do it. There will be there's still consequences when you're an adult, depending on the circumstances. But like, you're an adult, you can do it. I finished revising chapter 8. It was very fast. So during this next sprint, I will be posting that onto Story Origin, the updated version, and actually making myself dinner. I just think it's so funny because Crow,
wait.
I think
it's
Crow
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're on the East Coast. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I've been eating dinner at like 10 o'clock.
Okay, fine. If you're used to it, that's your circadian clock. Go for it.
Well, I'm used to it now. I used to eat dinner at like 9, and then my body was like, "Now we're moving it to 10 because otherwise you're not going to do like your creative stuff after work." I work until 7. I get home at 7:30.
You start work at what, 10? You said
10. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's understandable because like for me, I start work 7:30 or 8. So that means if I am eating breakfast, it's way early. And then
sometimes like I'll start working at like 9:30 or like even 9:15 while I'm commuting to get to work. Like I'll just be doing emails on my phone or whatever. But I'm not officially in work mode until like 10 a.m.
That's actually really good because I know people who sit down at their desk at 10 and then it slowly go through the emails. They get their coffee at the near the water cooler or something like that. And then by 11, they actually start working.
Yeah, no, I get to the office latest on in general. I mean, not foreseeing, what happened today where the entire subway system shut down because of what happened. I was lucky I got to the office before that happened, but I get to the office around 9:30. I turn on all the lights because I'm the one who opens the office. Because I'm arriving so early, I set up my computer. I fill up my water bottle if I didn't do it at home. And I'm all set. And then I start, and then I ease myself in for the first 30 minutes where it's
not having coworkers there. That's really nice.
Yeah. Without having coworkers, I'll be like, okay, here's an email. I can do this really fast. But also maybe I just want to work a little bit more on my novel before I have to put it away for the next 10 hours. And things like that. So. Hi, Nia. 370 for Regina. Awesome.
Is that a new link or is that the old one?
This is the new one. So
I need to be up on it.
Yeah, no worries. 6 Bravo, Golf, Foxtrot, Hotel, Alpha, Whiskey, Sierra, Golf. I hesitated because I was looking at my phone. And I was like, it's up on screen in bigger font. Why am I reading the tiny font on my phone?
Oh, there's been so many times where the 10 words that Chandra and I include in the flash fiction where I'll type it up. And I've learned I'll type it up, but I need to read from the book because other people will be reading from the screen. And that way someone will catch if I miss something. where you're like, wait, you said 10, but you wrote the number 10 up here. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, normally what happens is it's normally Chandra. I don't know. Maybe she's cursed or something. She'll like in my chat. She'll be like, the code didn't work, and then I'm like, wait, and then I'm like, I messed up. My bad.
Well,
like, that was me. That was me. I apologize.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Oh. Well, now I'm excited because this might be my last sprint, just because I was tired going into this, but I was like, you know what? There's a few things that I want to check off for today so that I don't have to do it tomorrow. But one of them was finish that story. And then the other one was continue reading, because I'm like, I want to read more. And I want to finish this before the book comes out, because I also got all your new chapters to read now. All the revised chapters. So my TBR just got longer. But it's okay. I'm here for it. I signed up for this.
I appreciate you.
I'm just glad that I like giving feedback, and I'm being told I'm good at it. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
okay.
No, your feedback is very helpful. And I don't think I'm making huge changes. I'm mostly just like, if you or Crow are like, this doesn't make sense, and then Regina is normally like, this sentence doesn't make sense, like as in like I just wrote the sentence wrong.
Whereas me, my brain corrects it and I just move on, and I'm thinking of like the overall like structure. I'm like, wait,
yeah,
wasn't?
and I don't know what it is. Like, you and Regina like really like the slow burn, and Crow like just absolutely hates Henry. Like, every comment.
I didn't really like him because I kept on asking. I was like, okay, well, why does she trust him? Why does she trust him? Why does she trust like that?
Well, I haven't reached all of your comments about that.
Okay.
I've like I said, I only finished revising chapter 8.
True.
But you were like, oh, like he seems kind of cold, and then you're like, oh, I trust him a bit more, and it's like, yeah, if you're waffling, that's fine. But it's like, anytime he does something nice, Crow is like, I don't trust him, or it's like, I don't believe you. And I was like, you don't feel any.
I can understand where Crow's coming from, because there is a question of who do you trust constantly because of the family.
I do, but I think it like kicked into overdrive for Crow so much faster than I intended it in the story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I feel like it works with the rest of this. Like, to me, it ramps up.
Yeah.
And you waffle, which you're supposed to do. And Crow just like locked on and like is a missile. And I'm like, did I mess up? But everyone else is reacting the way I want them to. So like,
it's really funny though, because like that's what I actually love about feedback reading about it, and I'm glad that Crow, Regina, and I are like all different, because like I've had people review my sci-fi novel, and in the same chapter, one person's going, wow, this goes by really fast, I love it. Another person going, this is going by too fast, I need it to stretch out. And I'm like, how do you deal with this?
Yeah, well, the nice thing is that like the three of you, if you all agree on something, I'm like, awesome. And then if the three of you are like disparate, I'm like, okay, then I can make what I want, because there's no tie. And
artistic
then
license
times where it's like 2 versus 1, and then I'm like, okay, so.
And then that's when you question, maybe like let's say you got a range here, and 2 are on this end, and then 1's in here. Well, maybe the dot is closer to the 2. Just shift it a little bit. That way we still have an agreement, but 1 might be a little more apiece.
Yeah.
Or
I think
ignore your beta readers,
gives me something to think about, because like I don't take all of any of your advice. Like you and Regina and Crow, it's like I take and then I leave stuff, and I'm not like looking for yes men.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all. Like, I want to know what you're thinking. But there are times where I'm like, okay, you're asking this question, but like I know it's answered later, so I'm not gonna edit it to like answer it now, because that like.
Well, and then sometimes we'll recognize that and be like, oh, here it is.
Well, yeah, no, sometimes you and Crow, Regina doesn't do it as often. I think she like reads a few paragraphs and then goes back and comments. Correct me if I'm wrong, Regina, but just based on your commenting pattern. But like you, Natalie, and Crow will sometimes be like, why is this? And then like the next paragraph, and you're like, never mind.
Ignore me. There was times in my feedback where I totally like miscalled people character names and stuff. Like I changed character names and I'm like, wait, and it's because for so long I kept on, I hadn't seen it, their name in so long. I think even the main character, remind me her name again.
Rosemary, but she goes by Romy.
I kept on calling her Remy, I think, if I remember correctly.
I mean, it's fine, but like what's really funny is that when like you and Regina and Crow will be like, did you name this character? I'll be like, no, I was saving that for revising Sarah. So now I have to name the people.
You could make that a kind of a game of like submit your name suggestions based off the character description,
Ooh, yeah.
That could be like a tier thing.
Yeah,
where we could
should.
Some people do it on Twitch with the bit things, but since you're not able to stream as much on Twitch,
yeah, I'm just trying to get the hours for YouTube so I can finally like get monetized. Also, if you haven't subscribed to me, please do. Deja, yes. Lovely to, I think, meet you. If you were at a previous stream of mine and I'm forgetting right now, I apologize. Normally, actually, I think this is now my normal where my brain's like kind of half fried. But before I had this job and I was streaming, I was very good. So thank you for being here either way.
Deja, I think you were on Morgan Lee's in the chat with Vixen of Fiction, Morgan Lee and Shannon and I can't remember everyone else on the screen. I usually, like, a lot of times, I will be honest. Listen, I may not comment, but I lurk like a professional. Okay, you don't even know I'm there. There's so many times I am. You can't see me, but like because especially the ones during the day, I'm working. I'm on phone calls and stuff, but I want to support my friends. So like my personal laptop is set up, and I got streams playing on mute. So I can get these phone calls, but I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, they're getting the views. I liked it. They don't have to know I'm there. I don't have to announce and be like, hi.
Yeah, like, I normally try to be like, hi, but sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I have it up. I was about to say hi, and then my ADHD brain kicked in because like I got a task, and it's like at this point, like I'm not gonna be like, I've been here for the past hour, like not really paying attention. Like I'm not gonna comment that.
Yeah. Or what's funny is that I don't say hi, and then like something pertinent, like I turn the sound up because I'm working on a document. I just need the background noise, and then I hear a comment, and I go, oh yeah, and I start typing. They go, hi Natalie, I didn't know you were in here. Did I miss you saying hi? And I'm like, nah, you didn't. I just
I've seen that.
It's like you didn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm killing me. Okay. All right. Last sprint for me, but I got to make sure I got the focus off. How do I make sure of that? Yep, it's off. I got it. Okay, so I got it off because I have the Kindle app on my phone, and that's how I plan to read.
Yeah. Cool.
So I'm an expressive reader. Like my face will tell you what the parts I'm at. So excuse that, or I'll just get embarrassed and turn off the camera.
I uploaded chapter 8, the revised chapter 8.
See, upside, I'll be able to binge once I'm done. Like I'm kind of happy.
Well, you'll be able to binge. I don't know. I can't promise. I don't know what your comments are for what all of your comments are for chapter 9. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish that tomorrow, but you will have at minimum the first 8 chapters to binge.
Quick question on your process.
Yeah.
So you're going by chapter. Do you go by person in that chapter? Or
no, I do it by the line comments.
Okay.
So Crow read chapter 8 the day after you left all your comments.
Mm-hmm.
But if she left comments earlier in the chapter than you, I put those in. And then if you both comment on the same thing, I put your comment first and then hers underneath it, but on the same thing in my Scrivener.
Yeah.
And then I just go through, like,
Are you having to
chronologically within
transcribe
the
those
story.
comments to Scrivener, or is it like you're able to save the document?
I have to copy and paste them and do it, and I'm sure a lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's how," and I'm like, but it makes me think about the comment more.
Yeah, true. It's kind of like a second and third pass at the comments and what they're tied to, so that by the time you're actually going through and editing, it's mulled over in your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
sorry, just curiosity on your process. I always like to hear other people's methods.
No, that's fine. But next week's Writish podcast episode is actually all about revision, so I also go into it there.
Beautiful segue. You're welcome. I'll take my $10 at the end of this.
It'll be on your Ko-fi page.
And another plug.
Yes. After this stream is posted to YouTube, I will add your Ko-fi link.
Perfect.
But without further ado, let's get the show on the road.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, happy productivity. I think I'm just eating dinner during this sprint. Hey.
Good thing the app lets me know that I was using my phone because it like dinged and like, hey, you should be done reading by now.
Yeah. So totally forgot to have Natalie do an intro. So Natalie, why don't you do an outro and then you can go.
Okay, sounds
If
great.
you'd like. I'm not kicking you out, but you did say that you wanted this to be your last sprint.
Yeah, my last sprint, and it's 10:42. That means I could potentially be laying in bed asleep, though I got to a really good part in the book. The first kiss happened. So I might be reading some more, but I'll be reading in bed. And so if I fall asleep reading, it's okay. Especially having everything done. But I am Natalie Locke. If you're rewatching this, Zara will have all my links down below. Pretty much if you got my Ko-fi, you got every link that you need. I'm on YouTube, Twitch.
That's what I do. If someone has a Ko-fi page, I'm like, that's it. That's the only link I put in the description. So.
And especially if they've been coached by you on to put all their links in the Ko-fi page, it kind of is a catch-all. Though I am working on a website, trying to. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Right now I'm in a flash fiction series, so if you want to see how the writing process is of trying to throw flashes together, it's I'm trying to think of a lot of puns with flashes, like it's a bang, and this is what I do. And new videos get posted up Wednesday. I do Flash Fiction Live with Candra on Saturdays. On Sundays, I am going to start doing a Twitch stream at 7 p.m. Where you can see from beginning to end me get through one flash. And every other Saturday, I'm with this chica, the Angle. There we go. Angle, doing Scripting the Book, which the next one is, oh my God, what was the next one? No, the next one's Bridgerton. You're on mute, Dita.
You're on mute, yeah.
Of course. I'm like, it's Bridgerton the 24th, right?
24th, yeah. So both of them. There we go.
Didn't we just do the Bridgerton one?
No, we did the watch. We watched it.
We did the watch party, but we haven't done the Scripting the Book yet.
Okay. I thought it was a combined stream, so I was so mad that I missed it.
No.
We still have you. We still have you on the hook. So we'll double check the date to make sure.
It is the 24th. It's the 24th at 12. You know what? I'm going to grab my planner because I write this stuff down when y'all say it. Because my memory doesn't exist outside this planner.
Okay, so
because we only did the watch party.
I think the schedule that I have on my Ko-fi page, I uploaded it with that date, but then we moved the AuthorTubers React, so I put up a new one. But I mistakenly also moved the Bridgerton thing in that schedule. I have to post it, whatever.
Yeah, Bridgerton, the 24th, 12 to 2, and other stuff, so.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel so much better because I was like pissed. I was like,
no.
I waited this long and I missed it. And
the big thing is that we kind of I had to bite my tongue and make sure I only talked about the show. It was all about the show. So for the watch, but it worked. Ben got to chime in, and then Nia and I just we kept on talking, and we talked about how it could have been better.
Oh, I have thoughts.
Yeah,
we cannot wait.
Okay, that makes me feel so much happier because I was like, I missed it, and I've been popping them up, and
you're good, dear. Okay, well, I will head out and hopefully be in bed within the next 14 minutes.
Okay.
Probably reading. Let's be honest.
All right, good night.
Bye.
And bye, Regina. She added over 1,000 words.
That's fantastic.
And is that far into her horror novel. So that's great. Hey, Devin. So I had said that this stream is going to be 3 hours, but I don't feel tired yet. So we're definitely going to do at least one more 25-minute sprint. I might not do anything productive during that time, but I'm also not ready to go to sleep. So yeah, I need to set the forest room.
All right. Sounds good to me. I have Yeah, my husband's not home yet, so
You're on parental duty.
no, he's out with one of the boys. So I'm like have this time to myself before he gets home. So I'm like, how much can I squeeze in? Oh, Loki is here. Hello. Did I wake you up?
Loki baby.
Did I wake you up?
You know what? I am going to be productive. I need to clip the intro of season 3 from the first episode of season 3 for the podcast. Because we kept changing it, and then we finally landed on what we're using for our 3rd season. So I need to do that.
Hey, puppy.
Hey, Loki. Okay. The code for what may be the last sprint might be the second to last sprint. I don't think I have it in me to do this one and then 2 others after, but
yeah.
The code is 6 Romeo Alpha Charlie Victor Mike Sierra Golf, and it'll be on screen.
He chooses now to do Pride Rock, of course.
Yeah. I told my mom about like how we both describe it the same way, and she's like, "That's so cute." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a cute description. It's very inconvenient."
It is. He just solidified himself. He's like, in case I wasn't up here good enough.
I love his hoodie.
Yeah, this is his new one. My daughter bought it for him.
That's so cute. How's the house hunting going?
She's ready to quit. I'm like, I don't blame you. Like her offers, they just like keep being the second best. And she keeps getting beat out by cash offers at the last minute. So she's just like, it's so frustrating because, unless you have, $200,000 in cash, she's like, I'm like, don't look at me. I can't help you. It's like, sorry. So she's like, maybe take a break and try again in a year, just like rent for a year and then.
I mean, would that be the worst thing? Like to rent for a year?
It wouldn't be the worst. It's just that we're very around here. It's like we'd rather put that money into something that you're going to own, or at least even if you're not going to live in it forever, have it as a a property that you can rent out, or be an Airbnb or something like that, so.
But like if that's her last resort, is that like a really
no, not if she has a plan, and then it's like that gives her more time to save money and have a bigger offer. Down payment and offer. Yeah, I'll like more cash, so it wouldn't be the worst thing.
I mean, I hope it works out the way you both want it to, but
yeah,
at least it's not like, oh my God, if this doesn't pull through, like she's gonna be stuck like living with you and you're both like unhappy about that or something.
No, they're good to go. They'll be able to rent, and they could spend more money, but they're just being very wise with their money. So, and I told her I'm happy with whatever she decides, as long as she's not stressed out before her wedding. I'm like, whatever is the least stressful for you and whatever one's going to make you happy. So she's like, okay. So that is where we are. I've got a curly tail in my face.
We're going to start this sprint. Hopefully Loki lets Nia do something.
Yes, I have this chapter that I really want to get finished. So I'm just going to shove him, but I promise you guys, he's not going to get hurt. He's really digging in. He's like, no.
He knows it's coming. Okay. Yep. In 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. And if you'd like to read the new version, but maybe not the final version of my current work in progress, you can sign up at the bit.ly link that's in the timer. How did you do?
I did good. I wrapped up this chapter, so I'm happy. I'm still pretty early in the writing stage because I'm drafting from my outline, but it's coming together. I'm just really trying to make sure that I haven't left anything out. You know, when you're
That's what
doing a
revision
mystery.
is for, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I finished dinner. It was like taking it really, really slow. This coming up sprint, I will do some editing on the start of season 3 of Rightish just to get a head start.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of interviews in season 3, and those take forever to edit. Whereas when it's just a me and Kelly episode, it's like,
Yeah.
2 hours and it's like done being edited. So I'm not staying up another 2 hours, but I can at least like edit the first little bit.
Yeah. Are you going to work in the morning? Or going to work, but are you working in the morning?
Yes. But my workday doesn't start until 10. But I was you were probably in chat unless you had to like be out of the room or something. But I was talking to Natalie about how I get to the office at like 9:30 and I don't like start going into like full work mode until 10, which is when my day officially starts. But it's like I have to be up and functioning enough to get to the office and to open it and to like get it all started for when my boss and my other coworkers like arrive. So I need to be semi-alert.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to set the forest app so I don't get too tired.
Yeah.
But this will be our final sprint.
All right. Sounds good.
So sorry you only are getting 2 with me on screen, but
That is
lovely to have you, and we will do outros after.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
4 Kilo Juliet, Yankee Papa, 2 Romeo Sierra Golf. It is up on screen.
All right, and I am in.
Ooh, and we will start at the 20-minute mark.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much work I'm getting done.
Yay! And with that, we're gonna do even more. So,
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. This is our final sprint. How'd you do?
I did good. I got more words, so I'm not going to complain. But I can definitely tell I think I'm done. I don't know. I used to be able to like write a lot at night, but it might be just because the lights are on.
Yeah.
So I might be time to just dim the lights and.
Yeah. I edited the intro and the the start of the actual episode. So I'm happy with that.
Good.
I saved it as like a template, so going forward I can just like open the template and like the intro, boom, already there, and then the other stuff will be dragged and dropped in the future. But I'm also like just ready to call it a night and do it all again tomorrow. So Nia, why don't you do your outro?
All right, I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction. Thanks for inviting me to do these sprints. I don't get to do late nights very much anymore, so I appreciate the opportunity. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram, and I have a Ko-fi, which I'm sure
where all the other platforms are linked on.
Yes. So you can find me there, and I hope everybody got things done and had a great, productive evening. I know I did, so I'm very, very happy.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who is here. I'm looking at the chat. I think the two viewers know who I am, but in case you don't, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the self-published author of 6 books, a young adult paranormal romance trilogy and a new adult sci-fi romance trilogy. You can buy them as signed paperbacks if you live in the US or Canada from my Ko-fi page, which is up here and also scrolling down at the bottom. I send signed nameplates if you don't live in the US or Canada, but it's still like my signature to put in my book. I have some like guides for writers as PDFs on my Ko-fi page, which you should check out, including one on how to succeed on Ko-fi as a platform. It's better than Patreon and Etsy and all these other things, and Fiverr. So like it's really good for whatever you want to do. And I also offer commissions that are helpful to any writer who wants to get published, whether they want to do it like indie / self-publishing or traditionally. And I do offer a book description writing service, but I am doing a live stream one of the remaining Saturdays this month. I don't know which one. With where I will be critiquing book descriptions for free because I'm really sick of the ones that I've been reading as a literary agent assistant. And I'm like, God, someone help them. So this is your chance to get that service for free, basically. And I am also the co-creator and co-host of the Writish podcast, which you can listen to here. If you go to this link, it also links you to other platforms. So if you don't listen on Podbean, but you listen on Apple Podcasts or whatever, you can get there. There is a Writish Ko-fi page as well. And if you are a monthly supporter there, you get the first 5-ish minutes of every episode 3 days before the episode goes live. If you are a monthly supporter on my Ko-fi page, you get different perks depending on the tier. So please be sure to check that out. And I hope everyone has a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And yes, I am streaming this Sunday because I'm Jewish, technically. So I don't do Easter. But I hope everyone has had a productive time, as Nia said, and I will see you all in a few days.